Alrighty. Welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. Let's do your weekly reading for Scorpio for the week of June 16th. For all them days. Let's take a look and see what's going on for you guys. Scorpio. Something about those Scorpios in my life. Actually, I should say Scorpio rising. Always kicking my ass. Let's take a look and see what's going on with... Here we go. All right, Scorpio. I'd like to hear from you guys. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me what's going on with you. How's this energy feeling? How's your Mercury showing up? Because it's definitely feeling a little bit wonky out there. I've seen the makeups and breakups of a lifetime happening in this last week already. Supposed to be on the road to Chicago as we speak, and I am 2 hours delayed and not even sure I'm going. So this is Mercury in a nutshell, so enjoy. Yes. All right, so let's take a look and see. Here we go. You ready? Wheel of Fortune. So that's interesting. That was the final card that came out. The Fate card came out for Libra. So for those of you on the cusp, let's look and see what changes are coming your way, because the Wheel of Fortune usually references you having some big changes that are happening. Now, it's not a very big psychic phrase or psychic... I can't really call that one out because there is nothing but change going on right now. We do have the Two of Swords for you for Libra, which is indecision. I'm sorry, Scorpio, which is indecision. So you're definitely feeling as if you're not sure which direction to go. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. And if you notice on the Two of Swords, there's a scale in the middle. And that scale is usually us all just being like, which way should we go? How should I play this? Etc. We do see the Queen of Wands, the Sun card, the World card, the Moon. We also have the King of Wands, the Ace of Swords. Let's keep looking here and see 10 of Coins. So usually 10 of Coins overlaying this direction of cards is telling me that there's decisions that need to be made with Scorpio, and you're unlikely to make one this week. I feel like you're going to sit on the fence a little bit before you make any decisions, basically because you want to have enough information, and this isn't trigger time for you. You're definitely wanting to collect data. We have the Moon card, and that's mapping. And so what I mean by mapping is you can't know where you're going unless you know where you are. So this little season that you have going on, Scorpio, in addition to having this card here, which is the Two of Swords, tells me that you're sitting on the fence and you're mapping. You're making sure that you take and utilize this downtime in order to take a really good long look at what your foundation looks like. But with the Ace of Swords and the 10 of Coins in play, this is usually like a contract or a decision, but the Ace of Swords usually means a decision or being decisive. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun card, a lot of these things are having to do with summertime energy. We have the Hermit card. That's data, that's waiting, that's hiding out. So this is a Hermit. This is you taking that opportunity to go within. You also have the Three-Headed Dragon, the Judgment card. So you're feeling that stress. However, you're handling it much differently than Libra is. This is your, like, I don't know, we have the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is all about like moving quickly and loving it. So there might be part of this that Scorpio is really enjoying. Okay, hi Colton, what's going on? So we have the Knight of Cups, which is emotion. So you may be finding yourself to be feeling deeply emotional, and it's not necessarily that you're acting out on it, but the Knight of Cups is those emotions that are brewing within, and you're just trying to bottle them up and tamp them down so that you don't kind of go, right? So we also have the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is kind of like feeling as a roll with it, because as I was talking to Libra, I was summer, whether we want it to be winter or not. So sometimes change happens when we're not ready. But we do have some really good cards for Scorpio. We have the World card and the Moon card and the Sun card. So the Sun card has to do with celebration and having a fuller plate. The World card has to do with travel and looking at a bigger picture instead of just such a small microcosm that might be your home. We also have the Moon, like I said, which is mapping. But the thing about this mapping is it's usually a journey we don't want to take. I always talk about coming to America, because when I was reading this deck's description, she talked about, you know, this is as if you got on that boat to an unknown land, it will be. And so let's pull some cards for you. So that was your Scorpio Sun reading, for those of you that are a Scorpio Sun. If you don't know what that means, just keep hanging out with me. I'll show you. So secondly, we're going to pull some cards for you from Mystic Dreamer, which is going to be your moon reading for Scorpio. And that's all of your emotions, how you think and how you feel, how you're interacting with your emotions. Not used to do this as your relationship spread, but that's a little too complicated to play with. Let's take a look and see individually, because there's so many different moving parts. So here we go, Scorpio, for your moon reading, your relationships, your people. First thing that comes up is Page of Cups. Ooh, usually that's chemistry and sexuality. Queen of Swords, so there's that snappy behavior. Queen of Pentacles. So Scorpio right now is playing with a lot of feminine energy. Eight of Pentacles, which is repetition and redundancy. So here's the thing with Scorpio. Scorpios are aggressive with people or demanding than you had been in the past, based on the fact that Scorpio is not really liking all these emotions coming up right now. You're not exactly being straightforward, but aggressive. And I have to say that because we have the Emperor with the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords usually means conflict. So if you were being like conflict or sneaky, you're not really doing the things that are for other people. That might be a little bit domineering. There are some other situations where Scorpio is just walking straight up, like ditching these situations, because we have the Eight of Cups, right? So this is, I'm going to walk away from this situation. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to engage. I'm going to make sure that I take myself out of the equation so that it doesn't get any worse, right? And so you're going to sit back and that's made things significantly easier for you, because Scorpio right now is like, okay, this is easier when I don't have these other energies and dynamics in my space. You also have the Ace of Wands, so you might be making some decisions regarding work. But you do have the Three of Wands, which is watching and waiting, and she's literally on a cliff looking out for the boat to come in. And what that is like, you know, let's let the dominoes fall, let the chips fall where they may. Let's see what's on the table before we go making any decisions. That again goes back to the big mapping card. So Scorpio, for those of you who are watching and have a Scorpio in your life, they're watching, they're waiting. They feel like they've played their card and they've let their hands go of the situation and are just kind of leaning back. If you're finding that your Scorpios are being a little bit more demanding than usual, it's because they have finally figured out that they've done enough and things are what they are, and we're just going to play with this energy right now. They're not wanting to put any more into things. I'm also seeing the Magician, so it's time for Scorpio to start communicating what they need. Queen of Swords, which is decisions. I do feel like there's a lot of love energy for Scorpios right now, because we have the Page of Cups, which is love, chemistry, energy, sexuality, etc. I'm curious about that. If you want to reach out, karmaondeck.com. We'll do a reading for you on that. So let's pull a card for you from Divination of the Ancients and wrap up your Scorpio reading. For those of you on the other social media platforms, come on YouTube and you can see the cards in play as we go. Thank you for hanging out with me. Here you go. Because sensitivity is where you've been this last little week, and you've got spontaneity and fire. So the cool thing about that is being oversensitive and having the spontaneity and fire in play, it's really more. So that might be a little bit of your energy coming up this week. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Like I said, like, subscribe, and share on my YouTube, Karma on Deck. Catch you on the flip side. Thank you for hanging out with me. Love and